hear the thunder, you better run, you better take cover.
Despite most of what we've seen during our time in Australia, 80% of the country is remote. In fact, much of the country is so remote that plumbers have to fly their own planes in to make house calls, and farmers herd the cattle using helicopters. Once the cattle are about 8 kilometers out, the helicopters are joined by ground crews on quad bikes with directing operations from above. Many of the villages are extremely far away from major cities and do not have access to healthcare or healthcare equipment. The terrain of the outback and the many dry lands are too rough for trucks and vehicles without four-wheel drive, which makes it impossible for these cities to easily access equipment. Although many people think the outback is like a desert, most of it is covered in indigenous vegetation. There are many national landmarks throughout the outback, including Uluru. Uluru is a large monolith made of sandstone that is sacred to the Aboriginal people of Australia. It is part of a national park that includes 36 other red rock domes, all part of the Katachuta Formation. It is taller than the Eiffel Tower and is the second tallest of the formations here in Australia.
The Daintree Rainforest is located north of Queensland from Port Douglas. It is approximately 165 million years old, and it is considered to be the oldest surviving tropical wetland in the world. It stretches an entire 1,200 square kilometers, and this is 16 times the size of Singapore. The Daintree Tropical Rainforest was discovered in 1777 by Richard Daintree. National features of the rainforest include rivers, swimming holes, waterfalls, and mountains. The vegetation grows in 5 layers in the rainforest: the emergent layer, the canopy layer, the understory layer, the forest floor, and the soil layer. It is the largest continuous area of tropical rainforest in the entire Australian continent. Along the coastline, the tropical wetland forest goes right down to the edge of the sea. The Australian coastline stretches 50,000 kilometers, with at least 10,685 beaches. This means that if you were to visit one Australian beach every day, it would take you approximately 27 years to visit each beach individually. More than 85% of Aussies live within 50 kilometers of at least one beach, while most Aussies live close to multiple beaches. Not all of these beaches are suitable for swimming. The Gap in Sydney, Australia, is the only entrance and exit into the Sydney Harbour. It is composed of rugged granite carved by the waves of the Great Southern Ocean that crash against the granite coastline and form 25-meter drops. Queensland's Great Barrier Reef is 348,700 square kilometers. It contains the world's largest oyster that weighs approximately 3 kilograms.
During our free day in Sydney, a group of us got to see the beautiful landscaping of the Blue Mountains, which lie within the city of Katoomba. The area of the national park is about 2,690 square kilometers, compared to the total land area that's 11,400 square kilometers. The Blue Mountains are said to be 470 million years old and is similar to the Grand Canyon because it consists of valleys instead of actual mountains. Some might even say that because Australia is in the opposite hemisphere, words mean the opposite of what they mean in the States. So, mountain in Australian language would mean the same as canyon or valley in the American language. However, the size of the Grand Canyon is only 4,926 square kilometers. That's approximately 0.43 times the size of the Blue Mountains, so less than half the size. Blue Mountains also has the world's steepest railway, with a maximum angle as it goes down the mountains of 52 degrees for 415 meters. The mountains also have a spot with 3 rock formations called the Three Sisters, which are 922, 918, and 906 meters tall. This is just one of the remarkable landmarks within the Blue Mountains in Australia, for that matter.